welcome to the Homecare Bosses United YouTube channel. And today I'm going to answer one of the questions that I get a lot of time. How do you prevent caregivers from stealing your clients? I'm Denis. I am the home care agency startup and good expert in what we do. We help burnt out, overworked, frustrated nurses start and grow their own profitable home care agencies so they can move from bedside to boardroom and become the home care boss that they desire to be. And one of the concerns that a lot of home care agency owners have is they work really hard to get their clients. They go out there, build relationships with different referral sources before they can get a client from that referral source. And now their concern is, what if my caregivers steal the client? And that is a real concern. And what I'm going to teach you today in this video is how to prevent that. So this is one way you prevent your caregivers from stealing your clients. Once you onboard a caregiver as a team member in your agency, one of the paperwork you have them sign is a non-compete. What is that? It's something that says like they cannot, under any circumstances, they cannot steal a client from your agency. Even after they decide to leave your agency, you still give them a certain period of time until they can work with a client. Because believe it, people will do things. People will say, okay, I cannot get your clients right now because I'm working with you, but they choose to leave your agency and get hired by the clients. That's why you put a time frame after they work with your clients or work with you. They are still not allowed to work with your clients, and if they do, there's a penalty that they will pay. And once you enroll somebody, once they become your caregivers, that's one of the paperwork that you go over and you set the expectation right in there, in the hope that once you set the expectation, they will not infringe on that rule, they will not infringe on that policy, and know that policy is there, they will not even attempt to do that. But you also have to do this both ways. Not only on the caregiver side, you also have to do this in the client side. Once you enroll a client into your services, you want to make sure you have the client sign paperwork that tells them, hey, we work really hard to train our caregivers, and you cannot just take our caregivers from us. And if you decide to do, there will be a penalty that you have to pay the agency. You will be surprised of I can sit here and tell you all the stories of clients trying to steal caregivers or caregivers trying to steal the clients. That's why once you onboard clients and caregivers, you want to make sure they know your policy is that they cannot take the clients or take the caregivers from you. One of our most recent stories with this that just happened a few days ago, really. We have an amazing caregiver. The caregiver is working with this client, and this client wanted to go to a trip. And what they did, instead of contacting the agency and say, you know what, I'm going out of state, I will need a caregiver with me. Can you send this caregiver with me? What they did, they started talking with the caregivers and say, hey, I want to take you out of state. I'll pay for your trip, but I don't want you to tell the agency. And they started rolling with the plan. The caregiver agreed to the plan. The client agreed to the plan. They all were on board to make this happen, until something didn't go the way the caregivers wanted. The client basically told the caregivers that they were not gonna give them as much money as they were expecting. Then the caregiver back out and now let the office know what was going on. But in that case, if she had her way and get the amount of money that she wanted, we probably would have never known. But those things do happen, and that's why you have to set the boundaries from the beginning. You set the boundary with the clients by having them sign and tell them, hey, if you take our caregivers, this is the penalty. And you can add whatever the number is for you. So when I first started my agency, I never thought somebody would like willingly say, hey, I like this caregiver so much that I'm willing to pay the penalty to get them from you and work with us. So we didn't know any better. So when we first started, we put our penalty at 2,500. And surprisingly, a client decided they really like one of their caregivers and they wanted the caregivers to work directly with them, and there's nothing we could say to change that. And guess what? They were willing to pay the $2,500 fee. And he paid us $2,500 fee on both sides for them to like be able to take that client caregivers privately, which was a total surprise to me because I would have never done that. But hey, the client is not me. People gonna do what they want to do. And from that time on, we increased our penalty to $10,000, just a number so people can think twice before they decide to do this. And you can set your number however you like it, but just make sure it's a good number where it's not so easy, where it doesn't mean anything, and people will say, hey, let me give you this $100 and I'll take that caregiver as my own employees. So also setting boundary means you also want to let the clients know from the get-go. The minute you onboard the clients, you want to let the clients know the caregiver is there to serve you, but any communication, any change of schedule, anything like this, they go directly to the office. They cannot change your schedule with the caregivers. They have to call the office and we have to approve a change of schedule. The same way, they cannot just give the caregivers their personal cell phone and communicating with the caregivers to their cell phone. Any communication has to go through our office so we can know what's going on. And also the last part, when you really treat your caregivers with care, when you show them appreciation, when they know, hey, this is not a one-off job, when you treat them like with care, when you show them that you truly care for them, you give them appreciations, when things like this are happening, when clients trying to steal the caregivers will be the first to let you know. They'll be the first to let the clients know, hey, we can do this. And I have circumstances where clients try to take the caregivers and the caregiver will come to us and say, no, we can do this. We can do this with the agency. We need to continue working with the agency. We don't want to break our relationship. So that happens when you have caregivers that are loyal to you and caregivers that you are loyal to them. So that's the tip. That's one thing that you can do right now in order to prevent caregivers from stealing your clients or clients from stealing your caregivers. So I want you to subscribe so you can keep getting those golden nuggets. And if you're looking to get started with your home care agency, we are looking forward to assist you. Please check the link below in the description box and join our next free info session. And if you also already have your home care agencies, we have tons of resources for you. We have community, we have resources to help you grow as you continue to become the best home care boss that you can be. Make sure to check the link below and we'll see you on the inside. Ta-da!